Alright, hello and welcome. My name is Gamerlanch and welcome to my channel. If it's your first time here, hello. I often post, well not often, but I post speedruns, tutorials. I'm planning on doing a couple of video essays on games. If you have any suggestions, of course, leave a comment. If there's always a trick that you've wanted to learn, I can learn it and teach you. Um, uh, Today, I'm going to be starting, hopefully, a longer series on how to speedrun Undertale, as a beginner's guide. This game is not too tricky to speedrun, and it is one of my favorite games of all time. So, I just thought, it'd be great to teach you guys. So, to begin, we're gonna just go in, this is the first part in hopefully a series, so this will be just covering the ruins. So, we're gonna name the human, game for Gamerlanch. Okay, so, as we begin the game, we're just gonna be holding right and go down a bit, and then we can just head up. Talk to Flowey. Now, go into the top right corner, so that you can be hit by these pellets first. Friendliness pellets. So, immediately after getting hit by one, you want to move to the bottom because of a weird thing that has it... A weird thing where it's being, like... The circle is sort of, like, shifted up a little bit, so you're gonna get hit in this corner first. Yeah. And immediately after, you're gonna start mashing again. When you're mashing, you're gonna be mashing... Shift, Z, X, Enter. Over and over again. Okay. So you can save there, you don't have to. I'm saving because safety. The ruins is just a lot of coming through and mashing buttons. You can come up here. This thing that I'm doing right now, that is called wall humping. It's done by holding up and down at the same time on your keyboard, and then you can move to the side. Yeah. So I'm just gonna turn down the audio a bit, just in case it gets tricky to hear. But now, you're gonna go hit this thing. There's a special thing in version 1.0 where you can completely skip, you can move while she's talking, because you clicked on it. I don't know how to do that. I'm playing on Linux 1.001, which makes a couple of tricks easier. If you want to learn how to play on this version, you can go to speedrun.com/Undertale, and it has a lot of helpful guides there. So, come over here, and we're going to talk to this dummy. It's easiest if you literally just talk to it, and Toriel will be happy. Follow Toriel up here. Now is our first encounter. This is with a frogget. Now, what you're going to get really used to, or what you're going to have to get really used to, is as soon as you enter fight, hitting left, Z, down, Z. Just really quickly. And that'll allow you to flee from fights. Because the fastest way to play the game is to flee from fights. Unless you're playing a genocide route, in which case you're going to not flee from fights. But, in both this and the pacifist route, it's fastest to escape. Except for, I believe, one encounter much later in the game, which won't be covered in this episode. This is the long hallway. We're just gonna hold right, as you saw in the previous room. We just talked to Toriel, and she guided us through. It's very simple. The ruins isn't much to look at, really. Neither is Snowden, as will be covered in the next episode. But then it gets a little bit more interesting in Waterfall. This game's, like, a lot of stuff is gonna be getting better at mashing text. So there was an instance of the fast fleeing. just go up against the wall, and you can leave through this door. This room, it really does not matter what you pick. Then... Oh, that's not what I wanted to... Okay, that was complete accident. Gonna go push the rock, and move on. This path, you have to follow this path. Down to the bottom, I'll go right 3, hold up, go right until you're right next to the leaves, hold down again, go all the way to the right, and come back up. Now this, you may think you need to push all of the rocks, but you don't. You just have to come around. What's best is come around, and try to push that rock the other way, and then he's like, what? You can't do that. And eventually you'll just be pushed all the way, and then you have to go back and talk to him again, of course. Once again, flee from the fight, and all you have to do is get that rock onto the switch. Once again, all of these save points I'm just doing for safety. Now, this is our first boss fight. This is important that you get this right, just so that it doesn't take too long. Napstablook is very simple. You're going to cheer. You're going to cheer 4 times. So just avoid the first one. Cheer a second time. You'll be like, oh, I don't want to do anything. Then you're gonna cheer a 3rd time. And he makes his special hat. Dapperblook. Very sweet. Now there are actually 2 things that you can do here. One of them is flirt and the other is cheer. Flirt is probably easier because it's just a single input rather than 2. And then he'll just disappear and you won't have had to fight him. Just continue down this hallway. Don't need to interact with either of the froggets. You might get that encounter. Through in here we come to the top middle. And that has the switch in it. And then we can come through the spikes. Whenever you get an encounter, just do what I'm doing, which is just run away. You don't have to hit any switch in this room. Hit the switch behind here in this room. In the next room, hit the switch that's up here. And in the final room, hit this switch. Once again, encounters, just run away. I know I've said it a lot of times, but there's really no need to fight. Doesn't make too much of a difference in the long run. It's just slower. So, if you're not confident with your ability in the Toriel boss fight, save there, just for safety. Or if you're planning on quitting, it's best to save there. You don't actually have to do this, however, it makes the final boss fight so much easier. So much easier. So then you can come out, you have the special pie, and you can come up to Toriel, and you can talk to her. After she says about the snails, we say how to exit the... Oh, no. Okay. We ask to hear the snail fact, and then afterwards, she'll say interesting, and we'll be like, how do we exit the ruins? And then she'll be like, I have to go. And we're like, okay. And that's when we go to the edge of the ruins. The humping doesn't really make the wall humping doesn't really make a difference. You can do it if you want. It just looks entertaining. And she's giving us backstory now, but we are speedrunners, so we don't need that. Now the Toriel boss fight is just spare. Just spare. The whole fight. Listen to the nice music. Just, if you can, avoid the fire. There's only one attack that you need to watch out for. And that attack is... Just turning the music down a little bit. That attack is... No, okay. there's one attack where she sort of just like a hand swipe thing. That you can end that early if you cut her off. If you run into the hand, you can end that early, which is of course faster. I'm getting really bad luck here. Okay, I got it again. No, not again. So I was getting really bad luck there, but oh, damn it. She will not let you die. While you can die, she will very likely... Yeah, okay. Now I'm on the final phases. I can just spam Z and enter. And now she's got her text. And you just keep hitting spare. And this is the fastest way to finish the boss fight. Yeah. Cool. So now she's like, goodbye. And all we have left is a little chat with Flowey, and that is the end of the ruins. The ruins is quite a short segment of the run. I hope I went into enough detail as necessary. Most of the stuff you can do by just following along with what I'm doing. It gets a lot trickier once we get further on. But there we go. That's our chat with Flowey. And we are finished ruins. There we go. Undertale by Toby Fox. Beautiful game. Beautiful game. Alright. So this is the first part of... This was the first part. That was Ruins. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I went into enough detail. Stick around. I should be uploading the next video soon enough. And that will be covering the next area, Snowed In, which is from here to the end of the Papyrus boss battle. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and comment if you want to. Please subscribe for more stuff like this. If you have any video suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Like I said earlier, there's a trick in a game that you go, how the hell do you do that? Notify me in the comments. I might be able to help. So, until next time, see ya.